What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex, and you're watching a Marvel edition of the Ragin Nation Show. This is just web series where we're talking about all things that matter to me in the world of Marvel films. This is episode number 74. Got a big update for you guys. We got a lot of material to cover, especially because over the course of the last week, a lot of new developments. First, let's talk about what's going on at 20th Century Fox. And most recently, we talked about the fact that Hugh Jackman is hanging up his claws and no longer reprising his role as Logan, aka Wolverine, after the Wolverine 3. That will be the very last time where he will be playing that character. Okay, so 2017 is the very last time. So what's going to happen with the future of the X-Men? After all, Bryan Singer did mention that X-Men Apocalypse will be the grand finale to his contribution to the X-Men franchise. What's going to happen after that? I know we do have a Deadpool movie that's coming out next year and also a Gambit film, but what's happening after that, we don't know until now, because the most recent announcement in 20th Century Fox's Marvel Universe, and that would just be the X-Men universe, of course, they want to get a New Mutants film off the ground, and that is confirmed. It's actually happening. The New Mutants is based off the comic of the same name, and it's about the story of these teenage mutants, alright, the students of Professor X, and there's a lot of them. There are a lot of these young mutants, and from the comics, the main, or rather the first few that were introduced included Cannonball, Karma, Mirage, Sunspot, and Wolfsbane. Now, if Sunspot sounds familiar, he did appear in Days of Future Past in the Future sequence. Now, there are a whole bunch of other mutants included in the New Mutants team, but I'm sure they're not going to add all of them. I mean, there are a lot of them. They'll probably just stick to a team of 4 or 5 or 6, max 7, because they have to balance it out. But at the end of the day, they are starting a new story with a bunch of new mutants. You know what? I think they're going on the right direction, because I know we've seen a lot of the characters, you know, that we know and we love, but I think it's about time that we bring in a new team. Not exactly a new team, but some new blood into the mix. Alright? I mean, I love the X-Men franchise, but they're not necessarily rebooting it after, even though it does seem like they are with a new bunch of characters, but essentially it still follows in the same story and timeline. Okay? Simon Kinberg, I believe, is still on board to produce, along with Lauren Schuller Donner, alright, who's been the mastermind, or rather the producer behind all of these films. So that is great, okay? It's great that they have this, you know, these names on board, because they're the ones who have been attached in the last couple of films. So it leaves that kind of, it lets the audience know that there will be that consistency. Now, they already have a director, and that would be Josh Boone. If that name sounds familiar, he directed The Fault in Our Stars last year. He also directed The Stuck in Love. Now, if you really put all these, the names of these films that he's directed together, it sounds like that 20th Century Fox picked Josh Boone as the director mainly because of his ability to tell a story involving teenagers with chemistry. Teenagers in love, alright? Teenagers who interact with each other. And you know what? I think they picked the right choice. They picked the right choice because they got a director who can tell a story, who has experience with dealing with teenage interactions. And that's what these mutants are, these new mutants. They're teenagers, and we need to see those interactions, and we need to see good chemistry. So I think they got the right man for the job. And to top things off, Josh Boone is actually a lifelong X-Men fan. So it all works in the end. So I'm looking forward to this. Which one of the New Mutants would you like to see in the New Mutants film? Let me know in the comments section below. Moving on, we're going to move on to talk about Deadpool. And it is filming right now in Vancouver, and, well, Ryan Reynolds tweeted a new photo of himself in action. Check it out. It looks cool. It looks like he's going to be diving into action, double guns blazing and all. Looks great. Speaking of which, we're going to move on to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and let's talk about a couple of photos that have been tweeted, or rather Instagrammed. And let's first start off by talking about Iron Man. Iron Man is, of course, going to appear in Captain America Civil War, and what we got is a photo, or rather promotional art, of his new Bleeding Edge armor. Check that out. We kind of got a glimpse of it, I believe, in Avengers Age of Ultron. I believe that's a Bleeding Edge armor. I can't 100% confirm that, just because there's so many armors that it gets a little bit confusing, but we are going to be getting the Bleeding Edge armor in Captain America Civil War, and it looks like this, and as you can tell, it looks a lot bulkier, it looks more muscular. As far as I can tell, all the armors out there are not as muscular as this one. So this is very interesting that they're adding it on. Moving on, we also have more photos from some of the stars of Captain America Civil War. Sebastian Stan recently tweeted, or rather Instagrammed, a photo of himself as Winter Soldier, or rather Bucky. All right, I guess he's not really going to be playing the Winter Soldier character in Civil War, but rather Bucky. And there he is. We don't see a whole lot. It's kind of a blurry image, but at least he does look like the way he did look like at the end of Captain America Winter Soldier. So, you know, no surprise there, but at least we got to see that photo. Moving on, we get to take a new look at Brock Rumlow. Brock Rumlow, played by Frank Grillo. Frank Grillo Instagrammed a piece of promo art of Crossbones. And as you can see right here, it's, you know, it looks like Crossbones, and it basically just has a bandana with a skull on it, and that's what he tweeted, okay? I don't know if that's, like, what he's really gonna look like, but I'll let you know in just a second when I give you the later part of our update. And finally, well, let's get on to that part of the update, because Captain America Civil War is filming right now in Atlanta, Georgia. Okay, now what they're filming right now is a scene that takes place in an African market. It's supposed to stand in for a market in Africa, and here we see Captain America, and it looks like he is I don't know, he's just in a crowd. He's in a crowd of Africans in a market, hence African market. But what we also see is one of my favorite characters in the franchise, Falcon, played by Anthony Mackie, one of my favorite actors of all time. And here you see for the first time, or rather not the first time, the second time, his new Falcon uniform or costume or armor, whatever you want to call it, alright? We got to see a glimpse of that at the end of Avengers Age of Ultron. Well, you're seeing it in full action in Captain America Civil War. Here you'll see that, you know, it's not just gray like the previous armor was, but it's also going to consist of a little bit of red on the shoulder pad area, alright? Now, my question is, you know what? I like the way Falcon's costume looks in the first film, I mean in Winter Soldier. Why did they need to change it? I understand why Tony Stark has to go through changes, and Captain America's suit did go through changes, but it served the purpose in a way, because it, you know, it upgraded itself. Falcon's armor, I mean Falcon's armor, like, costume, it looks great. It doesn't need to change, and I'm not too crazy about this, the red that goes on it. I like the way it looked originally, but oh well, maybe it serves some purpose later on when we watch Captain America Civil War. So very, very cool, and I'm glad to see that he's back. Next, here is the big news, and we are seeing Frank Grillo's Crossbone for the first time. Check this out. He looks fantastic. Let me tell you something. When I saw this photo for the very first time, I went, oh my god, because he looks sick. He looks awesome, and I love the way he looks. Of course, you got the signature mask with the skull face, alright? It's a very subtle take on that. Like, it's not obvious. Like, it doesn't look like a full-on skull, but it does look cool. I like what they did with it. Of course, he has, you know, the black the black uniform, the body armor and all that. But if you look at his arms, you see this like metal things that are like extension of his hands, so that I guess it's like gives him more punching power. So very, very cool. I love the way he looks. This is awesome, and it looks like this is all taking place in the same scene. All right, it looks like it all takes place in the south of Africa, or this African market, and it looks like there's gonna be a little bit of battle, because Captain America appears to be doing a little bit of action in this sequence as filmed here, right? So I'm excited. I'm really, really excited for this scene. And the fact that Sam Wilson is in it in armor means that he's going to be doing a little bit of flight. All right, so very, very cool. And of course, there are a couple of shots here of Scarlett Johansson. So, you know, she appears to be trying to get away from something by motorcycle. But look at the bigger picture. All right, we see Frank Grillo. I mean, we see we see Crossbones, we see Falcon, we see Captain America, we see Black Widow. All right, where are the other guys? Where are they? All right, now you know what? Maybe they come in later on. All right, but right now, this is something that what you got to understand about this film is that it is a Captain America film. Even though I still call it Avengers 2.5, it is still essentially a Captain America film. Okay, and that's why we are seeing nothing but Captain America characters. All right, Falcon, Crossbones, Captain America, Black Widow. They all appeared in the previous film, Winter Soldier. Right? Where are the other guys? They're going to come in later on when I'm pretty sure they're going to film the grand finale, which is not being filmed right now. All right, so very, very exciting. I'm excited to see all the other guys, but right now you just got to remember that it is a Captain America film, and that is why we are only seeing those main characters that we saw from the previous film. All right, so very, very excellent. Now, who else is going to be joining this crazy, ridiculous, huge cast? Okay. I don't know if they're going to add any more people, but I've already mentioned in the previous film that they have at least, I don't know, what is it, 15 different characters, and a whole lot of, included in that 15 is a bunch of familiar faces that we've seen in previous films in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Well, one character I didn't mention was Spider-Man, and the reason why I didn't mention Spider-Man is because they don't have a confirmed cast who's going to be playing Peter Parker. Well, it looks like that out of all the other teenage actors that have been listed, they narrowed it down right down to Asa Butterfield, and he's in final negotiations to play Peter Parker. I'm not going to confirm that just because they haven't made that official confirmation and announcement from Sony Pictures and Marvel, but he's in final negotiations, and I think Asa Butterfield is the better choice out of all those other kids. He just looks the part as a teenage Peter Parker. So, Peter Parker with Captain America and Iron Man in Captain America Civil War, that's going to be very interesting, especially since he's a very young kid. Anyways, Asa Butterfield is in final negotiations, and he will be appearing in Captain America Civil War. Another character who may be appearing in Captain America Civil War is the one that we've always been thinking about, and that is, what happened to Hulk? Is he coming back? Are we going to see him in Captain America Civil War? What the heck happened to him at the end of Avengers Age of Ultron? Well, I don't know how they're going to tie it in together with Captain America Civil War, even though Kevin Feige did mention that it ties in directly with Civil War. But there's a rumor going on that Hulk may be joining Captain America Civil War. Let's take a look at this little bit of social media from Mark Ruffalo himself, okay? He mentioned a couple of things, and I think you got to take a look at this, okay? Let's see this right here. He said that... He tweeted this: "The Marvel family gets just a little bigger." This is what he tweeted, okay? And he hashtagged Captain America and hashtagged Civil War. What does he mean by that? Is he just saying that for his fellow cast members, or is he saying that about himself? Okay? The Marvel family gets just a little bigger. I mean, when he says bigger, he could mean the Hulk. Okay, now get this. On his Tumblr, he mentioned this: "Marvel Studios begins production on Marvel's Captain America Civil War. Welcome to the wild party. Looking forward to this amazing cast." Is he just excited for his, his comrades? Or is he excited to be a part of this amazing cast, as he says on Tumblr? I would love to see him in Captain America Civil War. But this cast is just loaded. Okay, there's just so many cast members to the point where... Oh man, it's crazy. But you know what? It wouldn't be Civil War without the entire cast of Avengers. Now, I know that Thor is off somewhere in Asgard doing his thing, and that's totally understandable. But the fate of Hulk at Avengers Age of Ultron also justifies his absence if he were not to appear in Captain America Civil War. So, what is going to happen? I don't know, but there's some rumors. I mean, based on this, he's rumored to appear, but he's rumored to also just be happy for his fellow cast members. Who knows? Anyways, I'm really excited about Captain America Civil War. I'm crazy excited, especially since I really enjoyed Winter Soldier. I love the vision of the Russo brothers, and I love these characters that are in this Captain America, the story of Captain America, from Winter Soldier to Brock Rumlow as Crossbones to Chris Evans as Captain America, and of course Falcon, played by Anthony Mackie. This is a very, very exciting cast, and it just gets even bigger and bigger as they continue to progress through filming. Anyways, that's all I gotta say in this video. By the way, if you want to check out any of the photos, production photos, where people have taken photos of the filming at Atlanta, Georgia for the filming of Captain America Civil War, or Captain America Civil War, head over to the Ragin Nation Facebook page, because I've posted a photo album there, and you can comment on every individual photo and let me know about your thoughts about each individual photo and join in on the discussion. So make sure you like the Ragin Nation Facebook page. Anyways, that's all I got to say in this video. As always, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, the Ragin Nation. Also follow me on Twitter at Ragin Nation. My name is Alex Yu. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace. Sure that it's actually happening. All right. So that is confirmed. Moving on, another film that's actually happening, which is in the 5th